The next edition of the KMFA Offbeat Series brings a concert with the Andrea Ariel Dance Theatre for a Soundpainting collaboration with Austin Unconducted. Interesting stuff. Director of Events for KMFA, Stacey Hoyt, along with Andrea Ariel, are here to tell us about what audiences can expect, because I've said some words in there that I don't actually know what they mean. All right, ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you both here. Stacey, we're first talking about KMFA's Offbeat Series, and I was asking you off camera, sounds like a radio station. I'm kicking myself. I didn't know it was a classical music here in town.
KMFA 89.5 is Austin's classical music radio station, and we have also a building that we built in 2020. And in building the building, we also wondered what should we be programming in that space. And we came up with the Offbeat Series, which goes with our tagline, on key, offbeat. And it's an opportunity for us to showcase some of the new classical music that's happening right here in Austin.
Well, that's really exciting. So Andrea, that brings me to you. We're going to put these two pieces together here very shortly, but I do want to ask about your dance theater, because you just told me 36 seasons you're celebrating this year. Tell me a little bit about what it is you do.
Yes, it's a 36 season. It's amazing. We create performances that we do throughout the year, and we do community workshops that are free, inviting the community into our creative process. And then we also have our Arts Plus Arts and Education program, and that brings together academic learning, science with creative movement and music.
You are really all about expanding not only people's horizons, but also giving voice to different points of view. And I think that's really huge, because I was asking you off camera, what do? You know, do you pick a piece and then start hiring people for it? But really, there's a lot of collaboration going on.
Definitely, absolutely. The process that I work with is an ensemble process where we are collaborating, brainstorming together, and then we're also, I create these workshops with the community that invite them into our creative process, and then from that the material of the show begins to evolve. What are the voices that need to be heard? What are the stories that need to be told? And you know, it's told through movement, but sometimes spoken word, and I always collaborate with musicians so that we're also creating music, so it's a huge collaboration. The work ultimately is way beyond just my companies, you know what? Mine.
I'm going to salute you though, artistic director. That's a very big deal to bring all these pieces together and make it sound cohesive. So we've got an upcoming performance.
Yes.
Stacey, if you wouldn't mind, just start telling us a little bit about it.
Yes. So this Offbeat concert is featuring Andrea as a sound painter. When I learned that Andrea had this skill, which is something that she's been training for a very long time, of coming up with the music on the spot, like improvisational, and she directs and pulls it all together. When I found out that she did that, I thought this would be a really amazing Offbeat concert. So we started collaborating.
And not only that, but like, it's one and only. It's never going to be the exact same thing again.
Exactly.
And so this is a sort of thing people can't miss. So we have to come to you, obviously, to talk about sound painting. Tell us about the skill.
Well, sound painting is a multidisciplinary sign language that's used to create live composition in the moment. With this concert, I have the pleasure of working with 9 amazing string players that are part of Austin Unconducted. So it's a new thing for me. They're learning sound painting for the first time, and I'm working with an ensemble that is completely new for me. And so the syntax of sound painting is who, what, when, and sometimes how. So the signs or gestures that are given ask for improvisation from the ensemble. And then what they give is what begins to be sculpted into a composition.
Wow.
And so it's a little bit scary, you know, because I go to the performance and I'm like, well, I have some ideas I'm working with, you know, and but whatever happens in the moment is going to shape how I'm composing with the signs. So it's not planned out in that way. there is a sign called palettes where I can use pre-composed music, little bits of pre-composed music as a palette that we might throw into the piece that would be remixed or deconstructed or evolved in a completely different way than the original, but you might recognize it. And then there'll be other things that are completely created on the spot. And sometimes it might be kind of weird and crazy, and sometimes it'll be really beautiful, or funny. And there's moments when the sound painter, me, can turn to the audience and involve them in the signs.
That is really cool.
So they can pick up on that from what I'm doing with the ensemble, and then when I turn to them, they can know what to do. And so that in that way we can kind of all be in the piece for a little while.
Oh, I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
So being an audience member means not only are you seeing a once in a lifetime event, but that you can be a part of the piece that gets told. Yeah. I do want to ask, is there any actual ASL in it? Because I saw you make this sign and I didn't know if there's if it is American Sign Language to some degree.
No, it's a totally unique sign language that was developed by Walter Thompson, who was a jazz musician in New York, and in the 70s he wanted to guide his jazz orchestra, guide their improvisations. So he started making up signs, and then he started...
So it's a language, but it's been invented by somebody else.
It's a completely original, unique language invented by Walter that's been developed over 50 years. And I started working with him in 98, so I was part of the early development of it. There's over 1,500 signs. Now, you would never use that many in one performance.
That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, but he started working with actors and dancers and visual artists, so it's been developed into a very multidisciplinary art form.
This is a language I didn't know existed before. This is why you have to watch Studio 512. You never know what you're going to learn. And I just want to ask Stacy about, how long this runs. Is it just the one show? Where can we get tickets? All that good stuff.
We have 2 performances.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday. Each time we start with a pre-performance talk that will be led by Diane Donovan, one of our on-air personalities, at 6. The concert starts at 7, and then we have a reception afterwards where you can meet the artists.
Oh, and you're going to be exhausted at the end of it.
Or super energized. Yeah, usually that's the first thing that happens. Is that
I love that there's so much question and yet so much artistry and so much experience coming into this. Should be a super cool thing to see. Guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, break a leg.
Thank you.
For tickets and more info, visit kmfa.org/offbeat.